Okay, so no question is stupid or silly. This picture, and I know it's kind of washed out, but it kind of tells a story. And I took this picture probably about 5 years ago, unknowing to myself how I would probably use this in the future. The campaign that I started was called Light It Up Green for Muscular Dystrophy. And it's a campaign to raise awareness for all of the muscular dystrophies out there. You guys kind of know what muscular dystrophy is. It's not MS, it's not multiple sclerosis. It is, there are 9 major muscular dystrophies and about 43 neuromuscular diseases out there. Now, I never was a muscular dystrophy person until my son was diagnosed. My son was diagnosed at 3.5 years old, and he is now 24. And he lives with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. He's an amazing kid. He's gone to college. He's done all the things that we can most possibly do. But this is really not. Light Up Green really was not about him or my family. It's about all the families that are out there. So I wrote something last night, and it says, you never think what you will do makes a difference or an impact, but it does. So I started Light It Up Green in 2014, and haven't looked back. But, we've come very far. So community leadership, I never even thought that what I was doing was community leadership, but it kind of is. So the reason why I started this was to increase awareness in the communities around the country and the world. So awareness increases funding for research. I already said there's 52 muscular and neuromuscular diseases. That picture, going back, remember that picture? It affects children, young adults, and the elderly. There's no rhyme or reason as to who it will affect and why. It doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, doesn't matter where you live, what part of the world, doesn't matter. Muscular dystrophies are what they are. Some of the more popular ones are ALS, that's Lou Gehrig's disease. And a little fact about ALS is, usually with ALS, 60% of the people that are diagnosed with ALS have been veterans. I don't know why that is. I just know that that's a fact, and it's on ALS, their organization. That's where I got that information from. Duchenne is something that my son has. It's usually diagnosed probably between 5 and 7 years old. He was diagnosed at 3.5 years old by accident on a blood test. So Duchenne affects what they say, they call it rare, but Duchenne affects about 20,000 children a year, which breaks down to about 54 kids a day, which to me, one child is too many. So, and then there's SMA, and SMA is another it's a neuromuscular disease, where ALS is a motor neuron, Duchenne is a muscular dystrophy, SMA is a neuromuscular disease. Research, they've been doing research for years and years, and they've come upon probably like 4 new treatments for 4 different types of neuromuscular diseases. So it's really good. The awareness and the community leadership and being out there in the community and raising that awareness raises funds for the research to hopefully one day to cure one of those, or all of them if we can help it. This is, that's my son David. This is Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, and one of our people from the Muscular Dystrophy Association. So the three of us together, or the Light It Up Green for Muscular Dystrophy, the MDA, and Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, we all work together to maintain a community presence. You see the firefighters sometimes out there, you see them Labor Day weekend, they're out there collecting with the boot. This is why they're collecting. They're collecting for families like mine and anyone else that's in the community that has muscular dystrophy. And MDA is a national organization, which is a nonprofit, and they usually help families like ours. through different community programs, and they have summer camp for kids from 6 years old to 17 years old. Hi. Anyway, this was a really cool day. David got to go, and he got to sit with the dispatchers at Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, and he got to listen to some calls and do all that, because he had wanted to be a dispatcher, but because of his physical disability and his physical limitations, he's not able to be a dispatcher. But it is what it is. Okay, so, Lighted Up Green, myself, added a component to our campaign, which was a lighting campaign. This is the West Virginia building in Huntington, West Virginia. And it is one of the prettiest buildings I've ever seen. We have been able to light over 62 landmarks. Last August, we declared August was Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Month. I went forth. I got 49 states and 7 cities to declare Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Month. But then again, proclamation is just a piece of paper. So no one's really gonna know you got this piece of paper. Who cares? Nobody's really gonna know. So that's where the lighting aspect came in. I figured I needed to make this bigger and better and in everybody's face to be able to make an impact in the community, to lead, to educate, to advocate. There's so many things. Like I said, you never think that what you do is gonna make a difference. I never thought. Sarah asked me to come and talk, and this was last semester, and I was like, wow, I never really thought about it, like what I was doing. Like, I was just doing it because it was just my natural way, because people would say, well, why are you doing this? And I'm like, why aren't I doing this? I've been involved with the Muscular Dystrophy Association for 20 years, almost from day one. So this cause is very personal for me. And I think that in the community, I think you all find things that you're passionate about, and you need to go forth and do it. Like that's, find what you're passionate about, find what you love to do, whether it's in the community or not, whether it's, marketing for a Muscular Dystrophy Association or a cerebral palsy organization or whatever. So let me go to the next. Okay, so like many years before, we participate in the Delray Beach St. Patrick's Day Parade, and these are just some of my friends, and they own a fire truck, and there's my banner, and I just got the idea one day, like, we can be in the community and do this. We can do this. And then I had a friend that said, well, I have the fire truck, let's just do it. And there we are. We're doing it. So, but raising awareness, like I said, raises funds. It funds research, it funds community programs. It's like you don't really realize the impact of where you're going. So here we are 4 years later. I also started a petition online recently, and it's on change.org, so if you see it, please sign it. It's to ask the president to light the White House green, because I'm not done. I'm not gonna be done until I light everything green. This year, the date that we picked was August 8th, 2018. I didn't even think, 8/8/18. I didn't even think about it. Like, it was so significant, I was like, oh my God. So, anyway, these are some of the families and the people and the kids and the adults that are affected, and their family members and friends and community people. And there's the Jupiter Lighthouse that we will light again this year. And we've lit for the last 4 years. So it's pretty awesome. This is one of the fundraising events that we have. So you guys have any questions? I mean, I'm just blabbing along.
Are you attached to any other organizations that kind of assist you with the funding part of it when you get the monies and then you?
Well, when I raise money as the Lighted Up Green campaign, it goes to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. That's where all the money that I raise goes there, because I know what the Muscular Dystrophy Association does in the community and does for the people and families like mine. So yeah, I mean, that's primarily where everything goes. So let's see what else. Okay, so this is one of the proclamations. This proclamation took me 3 years to get, believe it or not. Alaska didn't want to play with us very much, but that's okay, that's okay. That's all right. But when I got it, I jumped for joy. I was really happy. I realized it's just a stupid piece of paper, but to me, it's not a stupid piece of paper. To me, that means everything. To me, that signifies everything I'm trying to do. So, yeah. So I will do this again. I will get probably, to me, we're national already. Without having a presidential signature, I've been trying for the last 3 years to get a president to sign a national proclamation to make it official. With 49 states and 7 cities, we're already national. It's not like, I don't need a president to sign anything really, because it's been declared.
What's the missing state?
What?
Which state is missing?
The only state that's missing is California. But I did have a city in California, believe it or not. I got San Diego, so I'm like, whatever. I got San Diego, I don't care. But this year we've already started with the lighting aspect of the campaign. So, yeah, that's going really well. But like I said before, we lit 62 landmarks to commemorate the month of August as Muscular Dystrophy Awareness / Light It Up Green for MD Month. And this is pretty much self-explanatory. We're taking steps to light the White House, the World Trade, and the Empire State Building. Right now I have an email going back and forth between myself, a couple of the muscular dystrophy executives, and myself, and the person that runs the World Trade Center. So I don't know, will we get it, won't we get it? I don't know.
We will get it.
I will get it. Yeah. You know, 18 supposedly a lucky number. You know, and that's what I've been told. So, you know, if I can get the president to sign the national proclamation, I'm going to send it in. I'm going to see. I tried last year, I tried the year before, and I tried the year before that. I did get, in 2015, I got a letter from President Obama, the administration, thanking me for, you know, raising awareness in the community, but I still want the proclamation. That's okay. So this is my son as a baby, my inspiration, right? We all have inspiration. We all have kids, cousins, nieces, nephews. Look at that face. How would you not want to go out there and do something for that face, right? This is David at 5 years old, okay? But you know, you can't really see the disease there. You could see it there, right? And like I said, he's everything I need to help me to do what I do. And I think that's it. So when you look at that picture, like I said, it affects anyone from, I mean, Drew is like in his 60s. He has body inclusion myopathy, okay? Every one of these people have a muscular dystrophy. Thomas has Duchenne. David has Duchenne. I'll get a little closer. Thomas, Duchenne, David, Duchenne. Trinity, we're not sure. She's still undiagnosed. She has CMT. This is Sophia. And then Drew. This is Sophia's brother. But Drew has body inclusion myopathy. So, yeah, like I said, making an impact in the world is really what it's about. It's about doing what you love and loving what you do. It doesn't matter if you're really good at what you do. You could be a nurse, you could be a doctor, you could be a sales clerk. Who cares, right? So, you guys have any questions?
When I think of this disease, I think of Jerry Lewis telethon.
Yeah, you do. The telethon has not been around for a long time, which is
know.
kind of part of why I started Light It Up Green, because I knew where it was going. I knew we weren't going to have the telethon anymore, being involved as we are. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, so we don't have that anymore, but you can't rest on that. Like you couldn't, I think what was happening was everybody was resting on that one thing and thinking that everybody just goes out on that one weekend and does everything. It's not just that one weekend, it's year round. So when you're in the community, it's year round. I do this, the Light It Up Green, year round. I'm always thinking of it. I'm always thinking of how I can make it better, what can I do different, what can I do bigger. This year we have the Peace Bridge, which we had the Peace Bridge last year. I don't know if you know where the Peace Bridge is. It is the bridge that attaches the United States to Canada. It's the biggest, most beautiful bridge I've ever seen in my life. Of course, anything I see lit up green is beautiful to me. Anyway, everybody else is like, who cares? But whatever, it's, to me, it makes a difference. So, yeah, I mean, that's really it. You guys have any other questions?
What are the buildings?
What other buildings?
Yeah, like are they?
If you go on my website, you'll see all the pictures. If you follow on Facebook, it's Lighted Up Green for Muscular Dystrophy or for MD. And you'll see in the albums, I have all the pictures of all the lightings, and I have all the pictures of all the proclamations that I was able to get. So, I mean, it sounds a little ridiculous to get a city when you already have a state, but I thought, well, why not? I got extra spare time on my hand, right? So why not get a couple of cities? I got City of Wellington, the City of Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie, actually, the City Hall lit up, and the hospitals up in Martin County, the 3 hospitals lit up. Last year, they will probably light up again this year. I have bridges in Canada, the BC Place Stadium in Vancouver. There's a church, this big church that's in Staten Island, and they lit up, and so many places, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the state capital of Pennsylvania, Arkansas. The list just goes on and on and on, and we're adding to it. We add to it every year, because they all come back with a resounding yes, because they look at like, oh my God, look at what you did. Yeah, we want to be part of it. So going forward, we will add more and more. So we've gone for every city.